This is just a little laugh and giggles for our viewers, man. Chris didn't make it. Chris was had an important meeting at the time, but we went to breakfast. And on our walk going to Little Berries.
Wild berries.
Wild berries. So you go get it. Yeah.
All right, so we walking down the street. We headed up to Wild Berries. We about to cross. So we crossing the street, right? It's a guy on the corner. He's got, I'm gonna just set it up. He's selling like cotton candy. He got a couple coolers by him.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Next thing you know, so we got our head down. We just call, okay, sign hit walk. We walking across the street. Next thing I hear is tamales. I bust out laughing. So everybody got their mask on. I don't know if anybody can hear me or see me laughing. So I got my head down. 2 seconds later, tamales. Man, that was the funniest thing. But I looked back at my wife and she being up, everybody was dying laughing.
I just said something about the unplug and unfocus on your spouse. What does that mean? Like just to pretty much unplug and just pretty much lock in and focus on your spouse.
I'll touch.
What are some of those things that?
I would say once you get to your destination, ours was Chicago this weekend. You probably put your phone up. You know what I mean? There's no alarms. There's no gotta rush to answer no calls unless it's an emergency. But you kind of just you chill, like you said. You move at your own pace. If you want to go to breakfast at 11, you do that. If you don't want to leave the room all day, then that's fine as well. But it's kind of at your own leisure. It's how you feeling. It's what kind of mood you in. You kind of move at that type of pace. So I like to move on that accord with her. You know what I mean?
I think he hit it perfectly, man. And that's the same for me. Unplugging. I was even talking to you guys. I had my phone off a lot of the times I was down there. Mm-hmm. I wasn't checking emails as regularly as I would if I'm back home. Unplugging was also just having a hyper focus on my wife and maybe what she want to do. Okay, yeah, I might not like to go shopping. However, if she want to go hit up the mall, we going to the mall. And so that's part of unplugging. That's part of meeting your significant other halfway. That's also part of that mutual respect that I think a healthy relationship exudes on a consistent basis, okay? Correct. And so I think all those things were tied into unplugging for me.
I want to jump in real quick before we go any further, man. Like you see Chris holding a cigar. I just want to say congratulations, man, on early retirement, so to say. People don't retire at 37 years old, 38 years old, man. So this is my gift to you. Shout out to Ocho Cinco Cigar,
man. I
for the
fellas.
Yeah.
Ocho, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all
support.
Man.
But I thank you guys for the acknowledgement, man, which we'll touch on more in our hot topic segment.
Yeah, just to throw that out there. So if y'all see him with the cigar, that's what that's for.
The focus on your spouse is huge. About my wife, I was telling her about this. When you at home and you got a house full and you got the kids here and stuff like that, sometimes you don't get that time to unplug and really focus. Like I was telling her about her colors. You know what I mean? Some of the things she liked to wear, tans, the grays, and the navy blues. I know those things, but it was different going to Chicago because I really focused and paid attention to that. So we was shoe shopping, and everywhere she went, these are some of the colors. She don't like the loud colors. Me and her don't like the loud colors. So we have that in common. Like we like the plain but decent looking shoe. So she was in the past, I knew she liked the tan, the grays and stuff like that, but I didn't put that much attention into it until now. So now I'm like, man, she like these tan colors. I know what shoes to get her. Right. You know what I mean? I have to get her. And then I think a lot of that comes to what when he was talking about how he picked his wife's shoes out and get her solid. So one of those things is we learn off each other. So he was like, man, I get my wife these shoes. You know what I mean?
I'm where I get them from.
So I'm like, okay, I gotta get my wife together too. You know what I mean? So she showed me some shoes. I'm like, babe, I gotta get these for you. And it was funny because we was looking through like 20 pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And I said, babe, I can guarantee I could pick your top 3.
Yeah.
And I picked the top 3 because I think that attention to detail, something that's not my strong suit, something I definitely got to continue to improve on. But to me, that was huge for me to acknowledge that and to let her know, like, yeah, babe, these are your colors. I'm definitely going to do better and definitely going to get you some shoes. You know what I mean? It's because I know what you like now. You know what I mean? So to me, that was the unplug. That was the lock in.
You got a chance to focus on exactly
because
what you like.
when we get back at home, it's hard to get that time.
Yeah.
And then when we do go out at the crib, it's more of catching up. You know what I mean? During the week, it's not locking in. That's the difference. When you're going on vacation, you got to lock in. You know what I mean? The other piece is, man, let's compare like big cities versus small cities. You know, we live in a smaller city. You know what I mean? We've been in big cities. And what you guys think from a compare and contrast standpoint?
I think that one thing the big city brings to the table to me, especially coming from Grand Rapids, we are the second biggest city in Michigan, next under Detroit. However, Chicago a whole different beast. I think from a person that's somewhat in the know about things, they got all the stores we don't got in Michigan or Grand Rapids. The diverse, eclectic group of people. We saw all walks of life in Chicago, and everybody was cool. Everybody was in their own lane, doing their own thing, and so that was also refreshing. And it was just a joy to be around and be among. I think also just the hospitality, low key. E took us to his favorite restaurant, breakfast spot, but the love we got in there from
waitress is real nice.
Angie. We gonna shout out Angie in case you looking at this, man. Angie, she made us feel good. The food was good, but her love and compassion towards every customer, not just us, was on full display. And that make you go in your pocket and tip a little bit more when you see that. And that level of hospitality, just again, I think everywhere we went, we can say it was top notch. And so Chicago, definitely top 5 places in the world to definitely visit, if nothing else.
Let me hit on the Angie piece. That's huge, bro, because you know sometimes you go in restaurants, you kind of, it's either it's love or it's no
hit or
love.
miss.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And she had that southern hospitality, man, and it was love because that was the first restaurant we went to. You know what I mean, and we didn't want to leave after that. And then she let us know other spots, other nice restaurants for us to go see and go look at. So that was definitely huge.
And even we went in a group of 6, and it's COVID right now, and she was even accommodating. Well,
there you go. We
can put 2 groups, 2 tables of 3. You guys can sit next to each other. So even from the start to the finish, Angie was amazing there. Yeah, she was. Now, as far as the big city life, I love that everything doesn't have to be done at a mall. You know what I'm saying? As far as shopping or, you know what I mean? Like when downtown Chicago, it's shops and stores everywhere. So like every corner you turn, every place you look, it's a new shop, or it's another Nordstrom's or another Cartier or this or that, Tiffany, Ralph Lauren. It's just everything you want to see that you could think about shopping. Your wife would think about, I want some boots, or I want some shoes or sandals, whatever. It's there for, you know what I mean? You've been in the right corner, it's gonna be a store for. So I like that versus the small city. You don't have to just go to the mall, and it's more than what the mall has to offer downtown Chicago.
I like that, bro. The other piece is, and I think we seen this, you could go to downtown Chicago and it's something you really, really enjoy, you want to do, they have it down there. So one block got a concert. The next block got a sporting event. The next block you can go shopping. The next block has restaurants. Whatever you want to do is right there. You know what I mean? That's the love about it, bro. So you could go down there in Chicago. You know, you go downtown on Saturday, you're gonna find something you want to do. You know what I mean? Where small cities is, here is just one event. We got the food taste. That's it. Where there they had a food taste. They got people speaking in the park. You know what I mean? It's so much things that's going on, man.
Right. They got a carnival on this little part of the street. They're giving out balloons and candy and popcorn. I'm telling you, you're right.
That's definitely, man. I definitely enjoy that piece. What about the we did a lot of walking. You know what I mean? A ton of walking. I think that's a big health benefit. Some of the eating, I think some of us, we was eating healthy. you know, we got viewers out there who might want to start a change in their life. I know for me, I got to lose 20 pounds. I got to do a better job of eating better. So I took advantage of walking. That's huge in the city because, you know, where before me and Cassie went, we Ubering everywhere, spending all that. We spending so much money Ubering. Now we was walking everywhere. It's everywhere you go. It's 15 to 30 minute walk. But while I'm looking at it like, man, I'm trying to lose weight anyway. You know what I mean? So I took advantage of these walks. You know, I went there, you know, at the spot where Angie worked at. I had a healthy meal. So let's talk about what you guys think about that, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. So even from like the first time, again, we've been there so many times. The first couple times we went, we was like, that same thing. I don't want to blow a lot of money in cabs and Ubers and let's just walk and see, because you get a chance to figure out what's around you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, this is there, and I know the mall is right there. Nike Town is right here. You get to get in your directions by walking around and seeing it. Even like when we walk, like when we first was walking, he was like, man, I don't know where I'm at. But by the end of it, you guys were able to get back to the hotel. You get what I'm saying? So like, I love the walking piece of it. Not only just for the information, but like you said, for the exercise piece of it. Because you're eating so many different foods, it's good to burn some of those calories off and walk it off. So
I think the thing that made it even better, it was for the most part 65 and sunny. So it accommodated walking the entire time. I wasn't even interested in catching an Uber unless it was way across town. And so that's why we was trucking it most of the time. So basically get you some good Nike shoes and get your walk on, man. And so that health benefit was in the back of my mind too. I'm with you on that, CB.
I'm gonna give us a little bit of direction where we was at. So we stayed on the loop in downtown Chicago, but we walked down to like the Magnificent Mile, or where, I think that's what it's called, where everything was popping at, where Grand Lux is, where Nike Town is, where the mall is. So it was cool, man. I enjoyed it, but I think next time we go, I think both of you guys will want to stay more closer to the action than the Magnificent Mile.
Both was cool. Both was cool. Both serve its purpose, but you're right. I think if me and my wife go back, that's what we gonna stay where you stayed the first time.
Oh yeah. And then the other part of walking too, when we was walking back, just the sightseeing. Like the walk didn't bother me because you seeing so much stuff, man. You know what I mean? So that was an enjoyment part to it. You know what I mean? Just the sightseeing and behalf. There go that. Look at the bridge. You know what I mean? So that was huge in itself, man. What you think, guys? Think about the culture in the Chi, man, and the entertainment. You know what I mean? I know, Chris, we talked about when we was there, the electric in the city. You know what I mean? What you guys think about that down there?
I think it's a melting pot, and it's a beautiful thing, because I touched on earlier, the diversity that was on full display was definitely something that stood out to you. You know what I'm saying? And you saw all walks of life. You saw men, you saw women, you seen couples. And again, like he said, the electricity in the city, the closest thing I've seen to that, it wasn't quite this level, was Miami. You know what I'm saying? Miami is another different beast, but Chicago was right up there in terms of just the energy. The energy was on point that entire time we was there.
I agree, man. Like, again, like you said, the hustle and bustle. Everybody, like whether it's on one corner, like I said, somebody selling food, the Michael Jackson entertainment, it's just it's everybody on their own plan. Somebody shooting a video, and they're not worried about, again, nobody else. Right behind them is a guy doing Michael Jackson and killing it, you know what I'm saying? And 3 blocks away from there is somebody else selling food, or somebody drawing.
The talent was on display.
Full display, like everywhere.
Saw how uniquely skilled people were in terms of their skill set. That was impressive. You know what I'm saying? No shyness about going out performing in front of hundreds of people that they don't know.
Wolf mode, bro. All down there, straight beast mode. Like, you have to be a beast in order to survive in Chicago.
You do.
Yeah.
Like I seen one block, I seen 3 brothers. They was doing some preaching. The next block, we seen people doing YouTube. The next block, singing, a girl singing, and then the next block, the dude was doing Michael Jackson. Like, literally, like within 100 yards, bro. And I couldn't believe it, but it's survival, bro. We have to survive, and we gotta get it, bro. And I love that part of it, bro, because that's how we are. You know what I mean? We gonna go get it, bro. Any type of way, and that's what they doing down there, man. So Man, I definitely appreciate those people out there, and us going to Chicago and seeing some of those things. This is just a little laugh and giggles for our viewers, man. Chris didn't make it. Chris was had an important meeting at the time, but we went to breakfast, and on our walk going to Little Berries.
Wild berries.
Wild berries. So you go get it. Yeah.
All right, so we walking down the street. We headed up to Wild Berries. We about to cross. So we crossing the street, right? It's a guy on the corner. He's got, I'm gonna just set it up. He's selling like cotton candy. He got a couple coolers by him.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Early.
Next thing you know, so we got our head down. We just call, okay, sign hit walk. We walking across the street. Next thing I hear is tamales. I bust out laughing. So everybody got their mask on. I don't know if anybody can hear me or see me laughing. So I got my head down. 2 seconds later, tamales. Man, that was the funniest thing. I looked back at my wife and she being there, everybody was dying laughing. Cause that's all it takes for us, man. The smallest little thing, bro.
Man, and it was funny because it was early. It was a lot of people out, but he wasn't getting a lot of traffic though.
Yeah.
So him yelling that, and it came out of nowhere. Tamale!
Man,
He just kept yelling. I'm like, who's this dude? But it goes again.
He hustling.
Hustle and bustle.
He gotta
You
get
be
it.
a beast mode. Gotta get it.
Yeah.
So time we ate our breakfast, bro,
Yeah.
he was getting mad traffic.
His knot was full. Seriously.
Man, like literally, he's selling tamales.
Everything.
I say he was selling hot dogs. I'm like, dang, hot dogs,
Everything.
sausages, popcorn, everything.
He had it, bro.
Had it like getting it, man.
But it was funny to us, but that's his little call to get the business.
Yeah.
That's his call to get everybody attracted to it. And everybody could hear that.
Made sure everybody hear it too.
Yeah, he did too, man.
No
So
shame in it. He was
getting it. So shout out to the tamale guy, man. I appreciate the hustle and the tamale guy, man.
So I want to flip it to our couples, man. And so one of the things that I think about our couples, for me, something that I have to improve on is patience. I don't have a lot of patience. And our spouses, they did a great job they was like us. Mm-hmm. Nothing was planned. Mm-hmm. We just gonna figure this thing out. Mm-hmm. And I was a little flustered because I'm used to planning, because when we go places, she makes sure we have things planned. So I'm used to that agenda. We didn't have that. Yeah. So what you guys think about the planning piece, or like the trips when we was going to restaurants or we go shopping places here? What you guys think about that?
I go. So I'm not really a planning guy on vacation, CB. So I'm more of what's the mood gonna take us to. You know what I mean? If you wake up in the morning and you want to do a bunch of stuff, okay, well let's see what we can do. You know what I mean? Let's fill the day up. But if you wake up in kind of like chill mode, or you know what I mean, like I ain't really feeling doing a whole bunch of activities today, I'm cool with that too. So then it might be a later breakfast or a brunch type of situation. You know what I mean? Maybe not so much shopping that day. You might hang around the hotel. So I'm kind of whatever the mood is, you know what I mean, versus an itinerary.
That's a good point. And for me, my wife does a good job of doing it both ways. Mm-hmm. Some trips we travel a lot, so some trips we do have a full itinerary. We know we doing whatever, we doing everything from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep. And then other trips we go on, and it was like Chicago. We just where does the wind blow us? What's the energy like? What do we feel like doing today? Sometimes you just want to sit back and sleep in and unplug. Sometimes you want to get up and go around the city and take in the energy and the vibes. And so again, I like and appreciate both. I pride myself on being flexible and nimble in all that I do. So that don't stop when we're on vacation. Okay, so if y'all wanted to eat a certain place or go to the mall, even though I don't like shopping like that, it was okay because I'm going to be a team player. Okay, and so for me, I think that the trip thing and the planning of it all, I was cool because I think we still was able to accomplish a lot of stuff even with no particular game plan.
So I got a question for you guys.
Can I add on that, E?
Go ahead. Ask my question. Go ahead.
That's solid, bro. I think for me it was a little different because of the planning. So the first day we was out going, bam, it was busy, something different for me. But then the next day was more relaxed, chill. We had to settle in a little bit. We slept in a little more. You know, Chris had his meetings. You know what I mean. So we kind of went through the flow. So I like that. Busy,
Yeah.
a little more relaxation. You know what I mean? Then we picked it up a little more. So I definitely like that. It was just something for me to adjust. You can actually.
On that note, CB, would you had it both ways now? Like, okay, the Chicago trip is kind of recent in your memory, but you say you like it more structured or itinerary style. Would you say you like that more, or the relaxed style, busy or relaxed style type of vacation?
See, I like both because we did both.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And for me, it was just adjusting.
Okay. Yeah.
So adjusting to the new norm. This is what we do. Now I'm good with it. So the expectation going into it now, this is just how it is. And then from a healthy standpoint, it's like, hey, I'm burning calories, and it's stuff to see. It's different people to see. It's a lot of different things going on. So I don't mind it. You know what I mean? So I like the mix of both.
How about you, Chris?
I like both as well. Again, the structure is cool, but I'm a laid back guy naturally, so it's also good when you can just take the day how it comes. Like you said, E, if I want to sleep in, I'm not a guy that sleep late anyway, but if I want to sleep to 7 or 8, you can do that and then get up and find out and figure out what you want to do the rest of the day. So I'm cool with both. Like I said, I'm flexible and nimble, and so I was with my guys, so I was also, that was good too. Like whatever y'all trying to do, I'm with it.
Well, so what it sounds like, flexibility is key.
Oh yeah.
You got to be ready for whatever, both situations, whether it's relaxed or whether it's sped up a little bit.
And we're all different. We all come from different homes. You know what I mean? So that's huge. Another piece, if I want to ask you guys this question. What did you learn anything new from your spouse this weekend? Like learn, was she more happy because of this, or did you see some different things that you haven't seen before?
I didn't necessarily learn anything new. I just was reminded her love for traveling. And then a great takeaway was we had good company. Y'all two and you guys as wives, and then all of us together. It just made the road trip and the vacay in Windy City even better. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of my takeaway.
I wouldn't say new, but I learned that my wife likes to show things. You know what I mean? Like us going to Chicago all them times. I think she was lighting up more to show y'all and y'all wives or show y'all like some of the stuff that we had experienced before, the breakfast spot and how we walk around Chicago and how we do things. I think she was kind of lighting up, so that's something maybe I kind of took away from this past weekend.
Yeah, I picked up on that too. Your wife was more happy when we went to the spots that y'all were
previously had attended.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's solid, bro.
Yeah.
I say for me, my wife is like, I know you said this a couple shows ago, he's like, you the glue guy. She was like the glue person. Hey guys, what you think about this? Like, oh, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? So her patience was, she already got good patience, but it was on a whole nother level, you know what I mean? And her being a glue person just made everything work. So I appreciate her for that. Now me looking back to it, she was real solid for that. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate that.
Because 6 people, man, that's a lot of different ideas. And we want to go different places and eat different things.
Exactly.
And want to leave at different times. So everybody had to be flexible. And I appreciate Cassie for bringing that swag too. For real.
Exactly. For our viewers, I know we touched on this a little bit, fellas. What are some restaurants? You know what I mean? What are some restaurants we recommend our viewers?
Those of you that have not been to Chicago and plan on going sometime soon, the restaurant that I would say make sure you visit is the Sugar Factory.
Oh man, touch on that. Yeah.
The Sugar Factory would be one that I say make sure you go to. It's kid friendly if you got a kid or get kids, but it's good for couples or a group as well. Like we did. And so that will be mine. The Sugar Factory. Look that up for those of you that haven't been but plan on going to Chicago.
Mine will be Sunrise Breakfast. That's our favorite little breakfast spot to go to. Right down the street from Giordano's. So, like, you know what I mean? They got the best pancakes. So I would advise or recommend that. And Grand Lux. You know, we didn't get a chance to attend it, but again, like I said, you could tell how busy it is or how popular it is by the wait, 2.5 hour wait.
And what's the popcorn spot? Yeah, that's it.
Garrett's
popcorn.
Most people know and should be familiar with that. But just in case you're not, Garrett's popcorn is always popping in Chicago. You can't go to Chicago without stopping by Garrett. We just want to, again, welcome you guys into a little glimpse of what our vacation consisted of. But now we want to transition to our hot topics. And today's hot topic is about retirement and spending responsibly when you're on vacation. Okay, so I'm gonna kick it off because the hat is out the bag now, or the rabbit is out the hat now. But I just recently retired, and it was a huge accomplishment to be this young and be retired and have enough money to live forever and never work again. Okay, that's called financial independence. Okay, when you make so much money or have so much money that you never have to work again. On that front, Chicago was a part of the plan of just celebrating that, of course, with my guys and their wives. And then it led me into just talking to you guys briefly about the importance of spending responsibly when you're on vacation. I couldn't get to this level of wealth being reckless, stunting, doing all this kind of stuff. And so one thing that stood out was just how just living within your means, or not splurging too heavy, even though you have the means to do so. Okay, we're not stingy in a sense, and we'll bless anybody. However, you don't just go reckless and go crazy just because you're out of town or you're trying to show off. And so one thing I want to say is spend responsibly, guys. If you go on a trip, have a budget, have things that you know you have set aside, that you have worked for to build, and only spend that amount that you allotted for, okay? Because you still gotta come back. Those of you that still living regular lives, you gotta still come back and pay bills. You gotta still come back and pay rent or your mortgage or whatever it may be. And you don't wanna have load all that money on one vacation, okay? So the key thing that stood out about us was, again, just living even kill life, spending responsibly, and just making sure that you live and stand within your means.
Just to touch on the being fiscally responsible, even though you'll hear us talk about going to Uggs and all these different stores and Nordstrom's and Marshalls and TJ Maxx and Polo and all these different places we would have went to, but a lot of that's just window shopping. I know me and my wife went down to Chicago and we spent the most money on eating. Like, don't get it twisted. You still a tourist, you know what I mean, downtown Chicago. Those prices are gonna be inflated. So, it's, you know what I mean, you gotta make smart buys. Like, again, even though we going in all these stores, we not going crazy, like you said. Even though if you have some money, you know what I mean, you don't have to spend it. Especially not frivolously, you know what I mean? Have a good time, but
again, I think we all did that. I think we did a good job of one person get the bill this time, or this person get the bill next time, splitting stuff down the middle 3 ways. And again, and that's how you get there, guys. It's one bite of the apple at a time. It's not a get rich quick ordeal. It's just making good decisions after good decisions, time after time, no matter how much you go travel. And like I say, I was the guy that was able to retire early, but I didn't sacrifice how I lived. We didn't not travel to save more. No, we still continue to do everything we always did. Of course, we may have did it in moderation, but we didn't compromise our way of living for those things, okay? And so I think that's key in terms of that. And then just remembering, like we said, as part of this hot topic, remember to, again, live responsibly and spend responsibly.
Yeah, spending smartly, that's huge in itself, because this my thing, and that's how I tell my wife is, you know, let's be disciplined throughout the week. So when we go on these vacations, we can splurge a little bit, because not really splurging a little bit from a shopping standpoint. We're not big shoppers, but we like to eat. So let's splurge a little bit eating, you know, because you're going to spend a little more money than eating than normal. So let's live a disciplined life. So when those vacations comes, we can spend a little extra. So we did some shopping. The piece with the shopping is, I look at it like this. Okay, I'm a discount shopper. I don't even like shopping. You know what I mean? I have to shop because, you know, I'm starting a new job and different things of that nature. I got to make sure that I'm clean. But guess what? I got 3 pair of shoes for $110. You can't go nowhere to get 3 pair of shoes for $110. You know what I mean? So you won. You know what I mean? I won. I wanted these other shoes. They was $80. I was like, nah. You know what I mean? they was Kohan, but they was legit. But they was 140, but it was 80. I was like, no, I can't spend this. You know what I mean? So definitely being disciplined about that as well. So, and you have to be smart because it's easy when you go in these big cities. It's easy, man, to spend money, man. It's so easy because it's so much stuff to do.
There's so much money being spent around you as well.
There you go.
Like that, you know, them cash registers, they stay ringing. They stay opening up. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably one of the biggest temptation of having money. Like we started a Rolex store.
Exactly.
I can go buy that whole store out. And it take discipline
to be like, I'm good.
to not walk in there and do that. You know what I'm saying? The Cartier store over next door.
Right next door.
Right there. And all my yays, all my shades is yays. And so again, that kind of stuff takes discipline to not go in there and buy it, clear everybody out and take everything that's in there. So I think CB hit a good point. But I think again, that's just being rooted and anchored in humility first and foremost, but being anchored in terms of just knowing, man, we ain't gotta get bent out of shape on a vacation and getting down here doing too much. We ain't in competition with nobody, ain't no pissing match. Even me and CB went out to Italian Village, and the guy was like, what you guys here for? And we was just like, man, we just kicking it. And then he's like, my boy retired, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't have to, in that moment,
go nuts.
Man, I'm buying everybody.
Bring all the bottles.
You know what I'm saying? We just played it cool, kept it humble, and you know what I'm saying, did what we did and got up out of there, you know what I'm saying, and got back to the whole squad and finished out our vacation. So that's what it's about, man. And that's what we want to make sure that we project to you guys. Each and every episode that we come to you guys. So with that being said, man, we want to wrap up episode 5, kicking it back into Windy City, guys. And we thank you for, again, just hanging out with us one more time. And we look forward to seeing you each and every week. Please make sure, if you haven't already, to like and subscribe and share this with at least 10 people. We'll see you next time.
Peace.